everyone, today I'll be teaching you all about class methods and constructors. It is a very wonderful lesson. I hope you will be there with me throughout this lesson. So let's get started. First of all, let's create a class. We go to SRC, select new and select Java class. We'll give this class the name main. And inside the class, we'll have our main method. PSVM tab main method was created. Now, inside this class, we'll have a method, a static method. Static void second. And inside this method we'll have an S out. This will print my name is Kulesh, and we can access this inside our main method. For that we have to say second. Now let's run this and see the output. What will be the output? Let's check it out. The console printed my name is Kulesh. That means this static void method printed what we put in the S out. So that means static void method was used to print a certain name or value inside our main method. Java methods are declared in classes, inside classes. They can be either static or public or both. Now I'll show you examples for two types of methods that we can have in Java. Let's remove this and let's print this code. Here I have declared a static void my static method, and in the S out it states that static methods can be called without creating objects, and that is true. If we made the method static, we don't need to make an object of the class to access the method inside our main method. And in the next example we have a public void my public method, which prints out public methods must be called by creating objects, and that is also true. That means we must make objects to access public methods inside our main method. That's what I taught you right now. Now let's see this in progress. First we'll implement the static method. We say my static method and implement it, and after that we'll create an object of the main class main equal new main, and after that we say main dot my public method. That's how these methods can be accessed inside our code. Now let's print this and see what we get. We got static methods can be called without creating objects, and public methods must be called by creating objects. So both these statements are true. We must make static methods if we don't want to create an object out of the class. If we made a public method, we must create an object of the class to access it inside our main method. We can have objects inside our methods. For that, let's look at an example. We'll remove all this code and we'll have a method public void second, and inside it we'll have an int parameter, an object saying int age, and inside this we'll have an sout that prints the age. We'll say my age is, and concat age object to it. Now let's access this inside our main method. We'll say main equals new main. After that we say main dot second, and we'll declare age for this method. We say 30. Let's run and check the output for this code example. Alright, we printed my age is 30. That means an object can be used inside a method, and so that we can access it by making an object out of the public method, and by making an object of the class and accessing the method by using the class object. That's how this is done. We can use two classes to access our second method. For that we'll declare my class main without the main method, and after that we'll make the main method inside another class. This class will be called class 2, and we'll put a curly bracket, and let's try to access this main object and print the second method, which will bring out 30 as the my age. Let's run this and check the output. Now also it printed my age is 30. That means we can use methods inside many classes. We can declare method inside a class and access it from another class inside our main method. That's the reason this sout printed my age is 30. So I hope you got a clear understanding about class methods and how to use them. Now I'm gonna teach you about constructors in Java. A constructor in Java is a special method that is used to initialize objects. The constructor is called when an object of a class is created. It can be used to set initial values for object attributes inside our class. That means a constructor is like a special method to initialize objects. It's called when an object of a class is created. It can set initial values for our object attributes. That's what a constructor is in Java. Now we'll have an example for a constructor and learn it by step. Here I have made a class called main. Inside it I have declared a class attribute which is int x, and after that I have created a constructor for the main class. This is the constructor, and inside it I have made x equals 5. I have set the initial value for the class attribute x inside our main constructor, and after that I have declared the main method, and inside it I have created an object of the main class which will call the constructor, and after that I have printed the value of x. And let's see what the output for this example is. Let's run this and check the output. Alright, we got 5 as the output as expected. That means our constructor worked. The initial value we set as 5 for x was called, and it was printed inside our main method. That's how this constructor works in Java. I hope you got a clear understanding about constructors. Now I'll show you how to make a constructor without much code. We can say generate constructor, and we can select this and press OK to make our constructor. Now, just like before, our constructor has been made here. That means we can access it inside our class by the main method. I hope you got a clear understanding of how to create constructors and use them in Java. You must note that the constructor name must match the class name, and it cannot have a return type like void. Also note that the constructor is called when the object is created. All classes have constructors by default. If you do not create a class constructor yourself, Java creates one for you. However, then you are not able to set initial values for object attributes inside the class. Now I will show you another example of a constructor. We'll have a class main, and inside it we'll have a main method, and I'll declare an int value as int c equals, I'll declare int value which will be c, and after that I say public main, and inside it I'll declare int c as 34. Now I have shown you how to make a constructor for our class. Now we can access our int c inside our main method. Let's give the class name first and give object name as n now, and say new main, and we'll print out our c. We say n dot c, and now let's print this out and check the output. We got 0. That means the initial value of this is 0, which means I made a little error, so I'll make this without the int. And now let's run this and check the output. Now we got 34. The 34 from the constructor was printed when we called it inside our main method. That's how constructors work in Java. Well, I'll teach you a new thing. We can have parameters inside our constructor. We can give a int y for this here, and we can make c equals to y. And you can see that error came inside our object, main object, the nth object. So we must give a argument for this, so it will be called as a parameter when the main constructor is called. So I'll give here 67 as the y. Now let's print this. What do you think will be the output? Let's print this and check the output for this line of code. As expected, we got 67. That means we can pass parameters inside our constructor and make them equal to the values inside our class, so that they can be accessed when we make an object out of our class. That's how parameters are used inside main methods, inside constructors, not main methods, inside constructors. I hope you got a clear understanding about using parameters inside constructors. We can have many parameters inside constructors. Let's look at an example for this. I'll put a code here and I'll explain it to you now. We have a class here called main, and inside it there's an int called model here and a string model name. And inside it a constructor has been made which declares an int here and a string name to be initialized. And inside it the model here has been made equal to year, and the model name has been equal to name. And after that the main method has been printed, and we have made an object of main class as my car, and I have passed parameters inside it like 1969 and Mustang. And after that an sout will print my car.model year plus my car.model name. Let's run this and check the output. We got 1969 Mustang. That means our parameters inside our constructor were initialized when we ran this. That's why we got 1969 and Mustang printed. That's how multiple parameters can be used inside constructors. We can give as many parameters inside our constructor. We can give even a string address here. We can even give it a int phone number as well. Likewise, you can pass parameters inside our constructor. So an error came here. For that we must give a string address and an int phone number so that the error will go. We say as string address we will give 345, and as the phone we will give 456. Likewise, parameters can be added inside our object when we declare a constructor with parameters. Now I've taught you about class methods and constructors in Java. I hope you got a clear understanding about them, and if you have any question you can ask them in the comment section after the video. So I hope you got a clear understanding of how to work with class methods and constructors in Java by looking at this tutorial that I built for you. So that's it for today. I'll see you in another video another time. Until then, goodbye guys, and please take care.